Meet the Void Reaper. It's a creature of living shadow and razor-sharp claws, infamous across 3 star systems for its unique talent, turning massive dreadnoughts into glitter. Its biology shouldn't even be possible, a mix of obsidian armor and pure kinetic energy. This thing was built for one purpose: destruction on a galactic scale. So, when Specimen Zero broke out of its quantum containment field on the capital city of Xylos, the Galactic Military Command braced for a nightmare. They launched Protocol, Scythe deployed their most elite legions, and prepared for the absolute worst. They did not, however, prepare for what they actually found. 3 hours after the escape, they located the galaxy's deadliest beast in a public park, purring while a 3-year-old kid gave it a belly rub in the command center of the Aegis Citadel. The silence was heavier than a neutron star. Every single officer stood frozen, staring at the main holodisplay. A single crimson rune blinked ominously. Containment failure, specimen settle. General Kailin, a hard-as-nails veteran of the Cygnus Wars, watched without even blinking. The display switched to a live feed from the containment sector, or what was left of it. A gaping, smoldering hole was torn in a wall, 20 meters thick, a wall made of materials designed to survive a supernova. Report. Kellen's voice was a low growl that sliced right through the shock. A young Tilleran officer, her feathers visibly trembling, stepped up. Sir, at 0700 standard, Specimen Zero gave off an energy signature we've never seen before. It didn't break the containment field, sir. It phased through it, the hole in the wall. It made that on its way out. Tore through the exterior hull like it was tissue paper. Kellen's jaw clenched. The Void Reaper wasn't just a weapon. It was an evolutionary impossibility. They'd captured it as a juvenile after it had single-handedly crippled the warship Indomitable for 10 years. They studied it. It only spoke in low-frequency vibrations that felt like pure menace. It ate matter and turned it into the dark energy you could see rippling under its armored skin. Its claws could slice a battleship in half, not because they were sharp, but because they could literally unravel molecular bonds. It was a ghost with the destructive power of a black hole, and it was now loose in the most crowded city in the sector. Seal the city, Kaelin commanded, his voice absolute. Ground all traffic, air and space. Full lockdown. Get every phalanx warden on the streets. Lethal force is authorized, but I want it contained. Find it now. The command center erupted into organized chaos. Alarms screamed across the planet. On Xylos, a city of gleaming towers and floating traffic, massive blast shields began to descend, locking the metropolis in a metal tomb. The public address system, usually announcing festivals, broadcast a chillingly calm voice. Existential threat detected. Shelter in place. This is not a drill. Panic began to spread faster than any monster ever could. The phalanx wardens were legends, clad in silver and gold power armor. They were walking tanks, each one a master of urban warfare. They swept through the eerily empty streets of Xylos in perfect, silent formations. Their helmet displays scanned every shadow and analyzed every energy signature. Listening for the telltale hum of the Void Reaper, news channels, broadcasting from inside lockdown studios, showed terrifying simulations of the creature's potential rampage, scaring the entire galaxy. Everyone expected to find a trail of rubble and chaos, but there was nothing. For 3 agonizing hours, the most advanced military in the galaxy hunted a ghost. They cleared the silent skyscrapers of the financial district. They swept through the Grand Market, its stalls of exotic goods abandoned in a hurry. The silence was so much worse than screams would have been. Where was the monster? Where was the destruction? The Void Reaper was supposed to be a predator, an instinct-driven killer. It should have been on a rampage. Instead, it had just vanished. Meanwhile, in a small apartment complex bordering the Central Arboretum, a young mother was trying to keep her son calm. The sudden lockdown was terrifying, and her datapad was filled with screaming alerts. She was trying to seal the patio door when her 3-year-old Leo did what toddlers do. He saw a colorful bug flutter just outside, toddled out the slightly ajar door, and chased it with a giggle. Their garden backed right up against the huge, now deserted Xylos Arboretum. His mom, distracted by a terrifying news headline, didn't see him slip through the hedge. Leo, filled with that boundless toddler curiosity, wandered into the massive park. For him, this was an adventure. The whole world had gone quiet just for him. He wandered past glowing alien plants and followed a babbling brook until he found himself in a small, sunny clearing. And in that clearing he saw the coolest thing he had ever seen in his entire life. It was like a big, dark, shiny dog. It was lying on the grass, its obsidian hide seeming to swallow the sunlight. It was huge, way bigger than his family's transport with long, elegant limbs and a tail that ended in a wicked-looking blade. But it looked sad. As it lay on its side, a low-pained rumble came from its chest. This wasn't a growl, it was a sound of discomfort. The massive creature had a piece of twisted metal, a souvenir from the wall it had shredded, wedged between 2 of the armored plates on its belly. It couldn't quite reach the shard, and the friction was causing a painful, irritating vibration. Leo felt no fear. He didn't see a warship killer or an existential threat. He saw a big animal that was hurt, and he walked right up to it. Wooden Squad Leader Gamma 7 felt a jolt of adrenaline. Contact confirmed energy signature. Sector Gamma Arboretum clearing, it's not moving. All units converge. General Kellen's voice crackled in their ears. Weapons hot. Approach with extreme caution. Gamma 7 and his squad moved in, their boots making no sound on the soft grass. They took positions at the edge of the clearing, rifles up. Gamma 7 peered through his thermal scope, and his blood ran cold. Sir, I've got 2 heat signatures. One is massive confirmed specimen 0. The other is small, child-sized. Sir, the Reaper has a hostage. Hold your fire, Kalen ordered, his voice tight with strain. Do not engage unless that child's life is in immediate danger. The soldiers watched, hearts hammering against their ribs. This was it. The moment the monster was going to show its true colors, but the scene in the clearing made no sense at all. Leo, seeing the big creature whimper, patted its enormous shadowy head. The creature's head, which was bigger than Leo's entire body, tilted just a little. Its single, central eye, a swirl of dark energy, focused on the tiny human. The pained rumbling continued. Leo pointed at the creature's belly, right at the jagged piece of metal. Ouchie, he asked, his small voice echoing in the quiet part. Then he did something that made every soldier watching completely forget how to breathe. He walked over, leaned against the creature's side, and started fiddling with a piece of metal. The Void Reaper didn't move a muscle. With a toddler's simple persistence, Leo wiggled the shard back and forth until, with a little pop, it came free. The change was immediate. The pained rumbling from the Void Reaper's chest stopped, and a new sound started. It was a deep, rhythmic vibration, a thrum that buzzed through the air and vibrated up from the ground itself. It was a sound that every person watching, from the soldiers to the general, instinctively recognized. It was purring. The colossal creature of living shadow rolled onto its back, all 4-bladed limbs curled gently in the air. It exposed its belly, right where the irritation had been. Its massive eye closed in bliss. Leo giggled, absolutely delighted. The big doggy was happy now. So he did what he always did when his pet cat was happy. He plopped down on the grass and started rubbing the Void Reaper's belly. Back in the Aegis Citadel, General Kalen just stared at the live feed, his mouth hanging open. He was watching the galaxy's deadliest weapon, the creature that had haunted his nightmares for a decade, lying on its back, purring like a house cat while a lost toddler gave it a belly rub for a full minute, the only sound in the entire command center was that deep, rumbling purr coming from the speakers. The soldiers slowly lowered their weapons, not because they were ordered to, but out of sheer absolute disbelief. When Leo's frantic mother finally found him with a search party, her son was fast asleep, using the Void Reaper's flank as a giant, purring pillow. The incident on Xylos didn't end with an epic battle, but with a reality check for the entire galaxy. The story of the toddler and the Reaper became a legend, proof of a simple truth everyone seemed to have forgotten. The Void Reaper, now affectionately nicknamed Sooty by Leo, was never a monster. It was a solitary, intelligent being that had been driven half-mad by pain and fear in a cold, sterile prison. Toddler protocol even became unofficial military slang for any problem, where a little empathy works better than a giant cannon. Sooty's new home isn't a cage. It's a massive sanctuary, built to look like its home nebula, and its most frequent visitor is a little boy who has lifetime clearance to come and provide essential and apparently galaxy-altering belly rubs. It was a pretty powerful reminder that sometimes the most terrifying beasts in the universe aren't looking for a fight. Sometimes they're just looking for a little kindness. So, what do you think? Are some monsters just misunderstood? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.